I'm an international lecturer and workshop instructor, and I love being a certified trick dog instructor, canine conditioning fitness coach. I'm also an animal actor evaluator and a stunt dog judge. And in 2025, I also became a cooperative care trainer. And this is the topic we are talking about on the 28th of January. On the picture, you can see Omari. He became deaf at the age of about 4.5 years. He's 10.5 years now. At that time, we found no trainer, and that was very hard. It was a catastrophe for us. And we started training like with a puppy.
Simone, I don't know if you're aware, we have lost sound.
25, task 3.
Is it better?
And
Thank you.
a lot of online courses, and many trick trainers don't have a problem with deaf dogs. And we stopped with dog dance. We started with trick training. He's a trick expert. He loves fitness. He became a fitness champion. He's a photo model. His dad is a photographer. And of course, he's very, very much loved by his whole family. Before we start with theory, I'm going to show you our winning entry in the limits-free class of the International Trick Dog Challenge 2025, Task 3. And the task was to do tricks with items made of paper which are recyclable. And undercover. Thank you. Positive training is essential for trick training. In my opinion, it's essential for any dog training, but especially in trick training. I like to quote Bonnie Burgeon, dog law, if it worked, I'll do it again. If it doesn't, I won't. So if the dog does something and gets a positive reinforcement, he will do it again. So in my opinion, there's no in trick training. If the dog does a mistake, I do ignore it. And of course, we don't use any punishments. We are using markers. We're talking about markers a bit later. And any other positive reinforcements which let us become a great team and strengthen our bond. Now we are going to talk about positive learning and teaching strategies. Classical conditioning goes back to Ivan Pavlov. He discovered that dogs learn by association. Food naturally causes salivation. When a neutral signal is repeatedly paired with the food, that signal alone can later trigger the same emotional response. In trick training, we use this principle all the time. Hand signals, markers like the thumb up, training places or small rituals become meaningful because they predict something positive. Especially for deaf dogs, classical conditioning is essential. They rely on visual information, so we deliberately teach them that the certain signal and situations are safe, positive, and rewarding. Classical conditioning does not teach the trick itself. It creates the emotional foundation, motivation, trust, and positive expectation. Without that foundation, learning becomes much harder. So now we are going to talk about 4 learning strategies: luring, shaping, mimicking, and capturing. Depending on the dog, you can use one or the other or mix them. So what means luring? Luring means guiding the dog into a movement or a position by using food as a guide. It is useful in the early phase of learning because it gives a very clear information. The lure should be faded out so the dog learns to respond to the hand signal or body language, not to the food. So, as long as you are luring the dog, he has not understand the trick, or you can't check if the dog can do the trick because he's following the treat. Shaping. Shaping means building a behavior in small, achievable steps. The dog actively offers behavior and learns through feedback. This encourages thinking, problem solving, and independent learning. Mimicking. Mimicking is based on social learning. The dog observes a movement or action and reproduces it in his own way. This works especially well with visual-oriented dogs and familiar, meaningful actions. Capturing. Capturing means reinforcing a behavior the dog already shows naturally. You wait for the behavior to happen, then mark and reward it. Over time, the dog learns to offer the behavior deliberately and connect it to a cue. So for barking, that would work very well. So in my opinion, there are some no-goes in trick training. As I already mentioned, there's no in my training. If the dog does something incorrect, I'm ignoring it. There's no place for punishments. And I also don't consider modeling as a positive training method. Modeling means physically placing or manipulating the dog into a position, for example, pushing the hindquarters down to create a sit. Because the movement is imposed rather than discovered, it interrupts the dog's learning process and reduces understanding, choice, and motivation. And it normally doesn't improve the bonding between the dog and the handler. Calming signals are subtle behaviors indicating mild stress, uncertainty, or the need for clear guidance. Dogs always communicate how they feel, even during trick training. Some dogs show a wide variety of behaviors when they are overwhelmed, while others display the same signs every time. So I find it very important in trick training or in the training sessions that we are having a look at our dogs, what they show us. Calming signals indicate if they cannot concentrate, if they need a break, if they feel uncomfortable, or if they are mentally or physically overwhelmed. So it sometimes helps to film yourself and check the film immediately before you go on with the training so that you can either see if you are doing something, why the dog might show a different behavior, or you can see the calming signals. What kind of calming signals might the dog show? So he might turn the head away or avoid eye contact. That's the easiest way for deaf dogs to get out of communication. They're looking around restlessly, licking the lips, or the tongue flickers. Well, licking the lips has to be seen in the context, as all calming signals have to be seen in the context. Because if there is a tasty smell, or if they just ate something, or if they're hungry, they are licking their lips as well. Smacking or light chewing motions, yawning. Of course, dogs are also yawning when they are tired, but if they are showing yawning within the trick training, it is very probable that's a calming signal. Blinking repeatedly. The ears are slightly pulled back. They're slowing down the movements. They're shifting the weight backwards. Brief scratching. Momentarily freezing or hesitating. Or showing a different trick than the one requested. And that's a behavior which happens a lot when they need a break. Speaking or not, I find it much easier to express my feelings when I'm speaking. However, verbal feedback always needs to correspond clearly with the hand signals and training methods we use. If I want my dog to stop something and I'm smiling, that does not correspond. When I say super, my facial expression and body language naturally become much more expressive, than when I'm simply showing a thumb up. Because I talk so much with Omari, people who meet us often do not realize that he's deaf. In my opinion, this can sometimes be quite relaxing. And I imagine you know this feeling as well. When you tell someone that your dog is deaf, people often feel very sorry for you and sometimes do not know what to say first. For us, it was a catastrophe at the beginning, but today we have no limitations at all, except when he is out of sight. Great! You've made it through the theoretical part. Now we're moving on to the practical part. In my opinion, conditioning the thumb up is the best marker for a deaf dog. You always carry your thumb with you. Of course, there are other possibilities such as using a light or similar tools, but your thumb is always available. You do not have to handle anything, take something out of your pocket or prepare equipment. At the exact moment the dog shows the behavior you're asking for, you can give a clear thumb up. Conditioning, it is very easy. As you will see in the next video, you simply show the dog a thumb up and give him a treat. Show the thumb up, give a treat, and repeat this about 10 times. Do this several times, maybe 2 or 3 times a day, and over several days in a row. After that, you can use the thumb up whenever, wherever the dog does something positive. In this way, you're conditioning the thumb up and connecting it with positive emotions. So, let's. Step 1, clicker training for deaf dogs. So, as our dog can't hear any marker words or he can't hear a clicker, we are using our thumb up. So we want to show him that thumb up is something great. So thumb up, treat. Thumb up, treat. Thumb up, treat. So we are conditioning the dog that thumb up is something positive. Targets are highly effective training tools because they provide clear orientation, help structure complex movements, support distance work, and create predictable learning situations. They can be used with many objects: platforms, boxes, stools, skateboards, bricks, and a lot more. It's important to develop a positive association, so conditioning a target requires many repetitions. The larger the target is, the easier the task is for the dog. Have a look at the colors you use, because dogs don't see all the colors. They can't distinguish red and green very well from each other. So best colors are yellow, blue, black, white, and purple. In this picture, you can see different types of targets. Numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are ground targets. The numbers 3 and 5 are homemade. I made them from a bath mat. Number 6 and 7 are target sticks. Number 6 is a fly sweater. Number 8 is a look stick. At the end of the stick, I attached a small wooden spoon where I can place food. This is very helpful when taking photographs. So you can see that you can definitely buy expensive targets, but you can also do some by yourself. Now we are talking about the hand target or hand touch. I'm going to show you 2 videos. In the first one, I'm placing a treat between my ring finger and my middle finger. And as soon as Omari touches my hand, I show the thumb up. When your dog needs more support, you can give a treat from the other hand after you've shown the thumb up. After we've done this several times, I remove the treat from my fingers, and when Omari touches my hand, even though there is no treat between my fingers, I show the thumb up, and you can also reward your dog from the other hand. In the second video, you can see that we are in our dog fun park. I'm asking Omari to do a slalom through wave pools. And I am guiding him through the pools using the hand target. Now we're talking about the slalom, which is one of our favorite tricks. It's important how you position your body. In step 1, your dog is on the right side. You place your left leg slightly forward so that there is a gap between your legs. Your knee and hip are slightly bent, and you are on the ball of your foot. Guide or lure the dog through the gap with your left hand. Then the dog is on the left side. You place your right leg in front of the left one, again on the ball of your foot with the knee and hip slightly bent, and you guide or lure the dog through the gap between your legs with your right hand to the right side, and so on. In the next video, you can see how I taught Omari the slalom. At the very beginning, I was bending down and luring him through my legs. At first, there was a treat in each hand. Then I started using my hand target, and whenever he went through my legs, I showed the thumb up. After that, I became more upright and my hand signal or arm signal became bigger. Finally, he's able to walk through my legs without any hand signals because my legs themselves have become a signal to wave through. The around trick is a very nice one, and it's also helpful on walks, for example, when the lead has wrapped around a tree or a traffic sign. How do we teach around? At the beginning, you stand close to the object and lure the dog around it. To lure him from right to left, you use your right hand, and from left to right, you use your left hand. Then you leave out the treat and use only the hand signal that makes a circular movement around the object. At first, the dog is walking away from you, so he cannot see you. As soon as he has walked around the object and can see you again, you show the thumb up. As you can see in the photo, I'm increasing the distance. My arm is stretched and my fingers are pointing in the direction where I want him to walk. He's just about to walk around the object. In this case, it's a pole. And as soon as he has rounded the pole, I show him the thumb up. What is also important in this picture is my body language. I want the dog to go around the pole to the right. That means I turn my body slightly to the right. My right arm and my right leg are pointing in the direction I want him to go. If I were to put my right arm and my left leg forward, the dog would not clearly understand where he is supposed to go. Now we are going to see 3 short videos, and I'm showing how I send Omari around a pole and how I combine this with a hand touch to guide him next to me. Around this side, so I am using my arm and my leg to show him where to walk around, and I'm not using any words this time, just my body. Okay, so you need the nose touch. And you want to show the dog where to stay. So, for instance, he walks around, it should stay next to you on the right side. Yes, super. And the other way around. Super. So both sides. And the more you train, you want to increase the distance. Filming myself has helped me a lot as well, because I cannot pay attention to everything at the same time. For example, it is always very important to see what the other hand is doing when something is not working well. I personally like to hide my free hand behind my back when I'm giving hand signals with the other one, so the dog is not confused about which hand to focus on. Of course, sometimes I also use both hands, but because our dogs rely so much on visual information and hand signals, it is very important that these signals are clear. Well, we are having tricks when I give signals with both hands. As I said, filming myself helped me a lot at the beginning to understand why certain things were not working so well, and I'm still filming myself and analyzing the videos. If you speak and understand German, I would like to recommend you my book, which I published in September 2025. Taube und schwerhörige Hunde, Kommunikation und Tricktraining über Körpersprache. Which means in English, deaf and hard of hearing dogs, communication and trick training with body language. It is written in German and it is available on Amazon, and you can order it in bookstores. This is not only a trick book, it does include several tricks, but it also contains a medical section written by a veterinarian, as well as many practical topics for everyday training and understanding. For example, how to wake up a deaf dog, how to stop automatically at the street before crossing, and how to wait when bicycles are passing. If you don't understand German, please be a little patient. There will be another book coming out later this year that focuses specifically on trick training. It will also include chapters on which tricks work particularly well for great photographs. The photographer, Sasha Marotsky, is contributing tips and techniques for taking photos. In addition, there will be chapters about reaching the next level for challenges, dog dance, and trick shows, as well as very extensive and informative didactical sections. We have come to the end of our little excursion into trick training for deaf dogs. I hope that you either learned something new or that we were able to motivate you to start working with tricks. We will now move on to a question and answer session. So if you have any questions, I will be live there. We would also be very happy if you followed us on Instagram. I'm also running a Do More With Your Dog Spark team, where there are free challenges, sometimes every month, sometimes every second or third month, so that you can have fun. There are also some tutorials available. And of course, Omari shows that deaf dogs rock and are absolutely capable. The group is called Tricks, Fitness and Fun. I hope you enjoyed the time, and if you didn't have the chance to watch everything or would like to watch it again, I will upload the lecture to my YouTube channel, Deaf Dog Training with Simone, Paulyn and Omari.
Okay, now I have to... Okay.
Lovely. Thank you, Simone.
Okay, so we're back.
There you are. So that's really nice. Thank you so much for that. I've just had a quick look in the chat. No questions have come up as yet. I did make a couple of, but I love the Bonnie Bergen saying, yes, if it's not working. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic stuff. And you made it really clear and explained to people about classical conditioning and marking. And teaching the different signs, and just a few that you've shown us there that can go towards tricks can build up to be so much more. It's not unusual with the hand touch and going through all these talks. So many people are mentioning it because it's such a useful thing. As you say, once you've got that dog's attention, you can get it to look up, over there, this way, that way, come in, spin around, whatever it is you want to do with that maneuver, and sending away around things. And you can build that up to be more than just one thing. You can get your dog going through things or going past certain things as well. They're really good at building up. Those basics are going to be brilliant for people to move on a bit with their dogs. I've always said that trick training is different to normal training and helps build a better bond with us and our dogs, whether your dog can hear or not, because I think when we teach tricks initially, we're not so stressed about getting it right because it's not our dog behaviour out on the street. There's not that pressure that it has to be absolutely perfect as soon as possible. And so we end up having a slightly more relaxed attitude and build a much calmer bond through with the dog there. And we learn to understand a little bit more. Let me just have a look here. I think Teresa's.
Yeah.
There we
There's a
go.
question.
We've got some nice responses there. Thanking you. Certainly whetted Teresa's appetite to get on. And is there a sign for it again? Is what she wants to know.
Yeah, this is a good question. Well, I have a sign if I want him to start something, because we are also doing do as I do. So, for instance, I'm using, well, I don't know if you're familiar with do as I do, but normally you do something and the dog has to repeat. So, and no, well, the original concept doesn't work with signs. Well, I adapted it. So our sign is this one. So whenever I want him to start, for instance, sniffing games, or if we do the same, or I'm using this, but I don't, for again, I'm just giving the sign again. Yeah, I'm repeating the hand sign. Yeah.
Okay, so rather than sit, do it again, it would be sit
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
sit again. Yeah.
But what I find is very important is if you put your dog into a position like sit or down, always give a stopping signal. So like come and stop the position, because otherwise he will start to stop it whenever he wants to, and this will maybe not what you want. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're quite right there. Building in a release command is important, because otherwise, yeah, sure, how does the dog know when he's finished doing that sit or that down or that look at me? If you're not following it up with another command, you've just gone, I'll sit and get up in a second. He could sit there for 5 minutes if you're not telling him when he can go. So yeah, release command's really good. And from a lot of people have been asking when we've been doing these talks if we can demonstrate more signs. So for example, if I've put my dog in a wait, for my dog that's wait. And when they're in a wait, I don't care what they're doing as long as they're waiting right there. They can be sniffing, sitting, lying, dancing a jig. It doesn't matter. Wait. Now, if I've got nothing else for them to do after that wait, my release is this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's the same if I ask for anything. When I finish with them, it's a release. If I'm playing with them or training with them and we finish, then it's that.
Well, for us, it's when my treats are gone, it's like this, because I don't have any more treats. But I normally use a come, and we have different signs for come. When it's near, I'm doing this, or when it's far away. Of course, the farther I am, the bigger have the hand signs to be. So it can be a big arm sign. But it's very important to really point the fingers in the correct direction where you want the dogs to either to go, or this is for high five, also for wait, if I'm doing this. And if I'm turning it around, or if I'm having the hand like this, it's giving paw. And yeah, it's always important where I am pointing my fingers to, and they can distinguish very well. But in trick training, you have to be very creative with hand signs, definitely. So I'm just checking the chat. Yeah, the better. So the question is, I'm just going to ask if there are any small signs, minimalist. The more your dog knows what you want him to do, the smaller the hand signs can become. So last year we had a task in the International Trick Dog. We were not allowed to use hand signs, and I was thinking, oh my God. So I was pointing with my body, and I was really astonished how good he could read my body language. And as you could see on in the small video of slalom, finally I don't use my hands anymore. The video wasn't perfect because my hands were in the front. It's an old video. I normally put them behind my back, and I'm just putting my legs, and he knows what he has to do. So when I'm turning around, he knows he has to turn around. But at the very beginning, it took us 2 months to learn a new trick. Now, it doesn't look difficult with the signs or what I showed you, but the thing is, you have to know it. We didn't know it at the beginning, so what should we do? So I just check if there are any more questions, and if Yeah. So when your dogs get very excited, don't use treats which are very, very tasty. Omari normally is very happy when I come back from work, so he's very excited. We are living on diet, so I'm using blueberries, and that's okay. But if I use, for instance, some dried meat, he's so nervous and he can't concentrate very well. So keep the jackpot treats when you really want to learn something new, when something difficult, or you need a jackpot. So don't use food they don't like. So it has to be somewhere in the middle, tasty but not jackpot treats. Sorry. What? I'm amazed how many. Yes, yeah. With well, at the very beginning, I told you Omari became deaf when he was 4.5 years. At the beginning, we didn't notice it because I think nearly everyone starts to use some signs for sit, for down, for come, and he was in a bad mood when he didn't understand us. So, but that wasn't his. Yeah, that wasn't him. He's a very friendly dog and always learning so much. So um, I find it very important to use from the very beginning hand signs, even if the dog is hearing, because a lot of dogs become deaf at the end. And also, for instance, if it's loud, you can show the hand signs, and it's very useful. Or if you don't have a voice, you can use them as well. And I have a patient, and she can't talk very well because she had a stroke. So hand signs are very useful for her as well. So I just have to look if I miss something out. Of course, you can turn the mic on and just ask. You're very welcome with that.
Oh,
Every
personally,
in your German language. So if you join my group, it's bilingual. It's always in German and in English.
that's just what I was going to ask, if it was bilingual, and also to say thank you, because if you had asked me to do a talk in Germany, it would have to be in English and you would have had to do subtitles. You have done so well. I know you worry a little about your English, but it is
Thank
very
you.
good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. So are there any more questions? So if you ask, yeah. So I have woken up the appetite of some of you, which I could read in the chat. So if you would like to join my group, there's a info guide. So you will find a lot of old challenges, a lot of tutorials, well, Omari is showing everything, and you can adapt the hand signs. This is, for instance, for sit pretty, for sit, for down. And what I wanted to say is, before you said we are much more relaxed with tricks instead of training. So when we started, well, we have started tricks when he was a puppy, and our trainer didn't like tricks at all. That was really funny. So when Omari became deaf at the age of 4.5, we found our way with tricks. And our bond became much stronger than before. And that's really, it's not astonishing because you're doing something nice. It's good fun. You're not punishing. You're not angry, hopefully. So you can get a very amazing bond. So tricks are great. And the basic tricks, well, we trick trainers consider sit, stay, come as tricks as well. So, and you need them for everyday training.
That's lovely. If I could ask a question about your dog dancing, I know this is about tricks, but surely that involves some tricks in your dog dancing. How do you manage timing, and if you're teaching him something when he's away from you, facing away, or do you avoid that?
I'm honest, we stopped dog dancing because when we went to competitions, we always got some bad remarks because I was using hand signs. When he could hear, he was listening to the music, and he was well, the dogs can learn patterns.
Yeah.
So that's easy. So if you're doing 4 steps forward, a turn, they can learn patterns. With him, it was more difficult because the more he learned and the more confident he was, or he better he was, he became very creative with tricks. So he sometimes in trick training is suggesting something new. And if you are training with him for a competition and he finds 2 days before, oh, it's boring, I want to change something. So it's a bit, yeah. So, but he found his passion with fitness. So I had a colleague who was building prosthesis and orthosis. So I started to become a physiotherapist for dogs as well. And when he left the company, I stopped that and became a fitness trainer. And that was his passion. He loved it. And tricks is perfect for him as well. So it's, well, as I'm an Oriental dancer, I forced him to do dog dance. And yeah.
Well,
So
that's good, because with your dancing, you have the understanding of the rhythm and the marks in the music and accentuate those. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you have to know what you want to do. It's dogs like structure. So the more structured you are, the easier it's for them. So if you walk forward, to the right, to the left, they can learn the pattern, and it's easy. But if you don't know what to do and think what I'm going to do next, that's confusing.
Yeah, I think Jess has popped a question in about your fitness training.
My fitness training.
Yeah.
So I'm a fitness trainer of Do More With Your Dogs. So we are doing several tasks like jumping, turning. So a lot of fitness for the whole body. So you can do everything at home. You saw the jumping about the stick, the photo at the very beginning. So we have a fun park here, and that's like fun agility. It's not really agility. You can do a lot there. But also in my group, there are the tutorials for all the fitness levels of Do More With Your Dog titles. So you will find how to do them. It's good fun. And you have to start with the first one. Don't push or force your dog to do it quickly. So they need repetitions to build muscles and have fun. Yeah.
That's the Do More With Your Dog group.
Yeah, but when I do the free challenges, I sometimes explain or do tutorials, sometimes I don't. It depends what we're going to do. But normally you find solutions in the info guide because there are a lot of tutorials. So there are some more questions. With Labradors, yeah, perfect.
Yeah. There we go.
Well, when Omari is not very well, I'm doing a lot of thinking work, like the same, or so when he had an injured foot, because one of the group was writing the dog will have an operation, so or you can do sniffing work, or so I never do nothing if he can't walk, or well, of course if he's very bad, I don't, but we are always doing something so that he doesn't feel bored. Yeah.
Judith got a comment about she needed to use, with a previous deaf dog, exercise the brain because of the stress on the body. They did hill work to music with the earlier dog, but had the same problem as you did, incorporating signs versus the judges. So yeah, maybe some letters are required to assist with that. Yeah.
So
As you say,
if you want to do tricks and do a competition, it's nice to join the International Trick Dog Challenge. It's every year. It has this year it's 6 tasks. The other years it was 7 tasks. There are different levels, and there is a special group for limited dogs, like deaf, blind, whatever. So I really like that and appreciate that. And we learn so much. And we are always having fun.
Fantastic. Well, Simone, thank you so much for your time given in the preparation for this event and for taking part. And I'm really looking forward to your talk in 2 weeks' time on cooperative care as well. That will nicely explain to everyone the difference there between tricks and consent for care.
Yeah. So next time we're talking about everyday cooperative care and medical training and everyday training. So there definitely is a difference. And that's perfect without words. So, and we've made a lot of progress with this, and I hope you will join and enjoy it as well.
Thank you so much. I'm going to switch off the recording now, and then I'll shut down the meeting shortly after that. Thank you very much for coming, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.